China's policy is very clear. China will not fire the first shot, but China will not allow you to fire the second shot. That's why, while I'm pained to see the confrontation between China and the Philippines in the South China Sea, I also feel blessed that they are only using water cannons against each other. Make no mistake, China has more lethal things than water cannons. But I hope we will only use water cannon, and we will not escalate, and we will never use real ammunition between China and the Philippines. Now, so anyone trying to instigate a war between China and the United States may force mankind to stare into Armageddon right away. That leaves me to my theory. Allow me to share with you. I called it inevitability of peace between China and the United States. You know, whether the United States like China or not, that's another thing. But China and the United States eventually will need to live in peace. Whatever problems they have, they need to resolve them in peace, in negotiation, in diplomacy. That's why, if you have not watched the Victory Day parade in Beijing on September the 3rd, one of the weapons China demonstrated is a missile with all the warheads. We call it 61 because it can contain 60 nuclear warheads plus one hydrogen bomb. Now, in the world of today, let me tell you, which country has hydrogen bomb? China is the only country with hydrogen bomb. And that ICBM can cover every corner of the world in less than 20 minutes and destroy any target in any corner of the world without any possibility of being intercepted. I hope Washington has learned the lesson. They know, as I declared in my interview with Abrams of the United States, very distinguished American, I basically told him, if you want to have war, you will get war. If you want to destroy China, you will be destroyed. If you want to impose nuclear war on China, you will be wiped out by nuclear war.
China has a very long history of benefiting the Philippines, and yet they have no shame to occupy the islands and the parts of the Sea of the Philippines. If Philippines will be afraid of China, that just means all nations are afraid of China, because as we now all the way nation are showing their indignation to China of bullying such nations, and of planning to violate the freedom of navigation. And the fact nations in United Nations was in one decision that West Philippine Sea is a Philippines jurisdiction, but this China dare to challenge the United Nations or the nations, and even always dare to speak provocative words, and always talking in reverse accusations. Only few weak person that will never fight if what is being involved is the life or future of his loved ones, so how much more with those powerful nations. To all peoples of the earth, always remember no one is powerful to each other, so to oppress others, because God acts as no one knows his plan. Likely if the nations stand with God, he is against those oppressors, greedy and selfish person. Often used such nations to help the other nation, or he perform miracle. My suggestion to the government, start stage by stage or little by little demolition of China's products importations in the Philippines. There are so many country who has a better qualities of the products. Government can do it, just try focusing to our own agriculture and fishing, and meat industries, that citizens will not be hungry. Try making factories with these.